Beliso, and people ask me all the time, what is it that I do? What is it that I do? I do a lot of things. I'm a father. I'm a son. I'm a husband. My wife's sitting right there. I'm an entrepreneur. I own several businesses. I'm a consultant. I'm a writer. I'm a musician. You would call me a modern-day Renaissance man. But when the day's done, my whole purpose in life is to be happy. I believe happiness is a choice. And I choose to learn, practice, and master happiness on a daily basis. Does it work some days? What do you think? Does it work to be happy?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Am I always happy? No, I'm not. But I view being happy just like any other relationship that I choose to be in. I take the good with the bad, because at the end of the day, I'm in love with happiness. But I wasn't always happy, as our MC introduced. My earliest childhood memories were that of growing up in a foster home. Then after that, a very abusive parent raised my sisters and I, a single parent, often on welfare and food stamps. And I can tell you, I could do amazing things with fried bologna. Because I'd have to go with these food stamps. Hey, you guys like fried bologna? I'd go into this, these stores with my food stamps, and I'm peeling back the labels of the meat. And it's just one expiration date after another. And pretty soon you realize that meat's like 1 month past the expiration date. So, forget it. Just get the Spam, get the Vienna sausage, forget the bologna. I could do amazing things with Spam. So what I learned from my earliest childhood memories, growing up in a rough part of the mission in San Francisco, where it was gangs, violence, drugs, that being unhappy was normal. It was the state of existence that I lived in constantly. I remember as a young adult, but kind of epitomized my whole life, was a song called I'm Glad to Be Unhappy by the jazz singer Billie Holiday. Anybody remember Billie Holiday? Yeah. So that was it. But I only share that with you because I was conditioned as a child to believe that being unhappy was the way of life. This is about some 20 years ago. At that time, I was living in the Philippines, and I was a pop singer with a #1 song entitled Without You. Of course, the song was about how unhappy I was over a relationship gone bad. At the time, I was driving to go to a TV show to promote the album, and I'm sitting in some really, really crazy traffic. And like some wannabe spoiled rock star, I'm sitting in my car, ranting and raving, screaming at my driver, like he can do anything about it. But then something amazing happened. Something caught my attention. And I looked over to the side of the road, and I saw a boy, must have been about maybe 4 years old, and he was playing with a stick and a rock. And obviously, by his dirty clothes and the cardboard shack behind him, he lived in extreme poverty. Extreme poverty. But what was most amazing about that was with the chaos, the pollution, the traffic, the hordes of people, this kid had total bliss. The light of his smile was this huge contradiction against what I thought was a pretty sad situation. The only thing that brought me out of reality was the shame I felt, the embarrassment I felt for my behavior. It felt like somebody kicked me really hard in the stomach. I sunk down in the backseat of my car, hoping nobody would see me. But what that was all about was this young boy taught me that happiness is not based upon external circumstances. Happiness is my choice, and mine alone. It's a state of mind, it's how I choose to think. So then I asked myself, well, then what choices do I need to make to be happy? I think it's different for everybody, right? Different strokes for different folks. It's your space, it's your race. You determine what makes you happy. But I think there's some universal concepts and life skills that can help all of us. And that's what I'm going to share with you. So first I recognize I need to be happy with myself. So what does it take to be happy with yourself? Acceptance. I need to not only accept myself, warts and all, imperfections and all, I have to love myself. If I can be happy with me, then I can be okay with you, life, and everything that it offers. So that to me is a life's work right there. Acceptance. Because if I can accept life on life's terms, and with the cards that I'm dealt, because I don't believe I can hold that hand, I gotta play that hand. So if I can accept me, then that's the path to happiness. So also what's really cool about pursuing happiness is it perpetuates an attitude of gratitude. If you were to ask me right now, somebody comes to me and says, hey, Brannon, how are you doing? My answer is always, I'm grateful. That just the sound of hearing I'm grateful is a reminder to be appreciative of everyone, every situation that life offers me, even the mistakes. I'm grateful for the mistakes that happen in my life. Why? Because I truly believe that there's lessons waiting to be learned. But it's up to me to learn from them. So every day when I wake up, I go through a little morning ritual. And I'm going to share this with you. It's something pretty cool. When I'm lying in bed, unless my son's kicking me in the head, my 7-year-old, which he'll do all the time, I breathe in. And I say to myself, I'm breathing. Now this is really important, because if I wasn't breathing, I probably wouldn't have much to be grateful for, right? And then I breathe out, and I say, I'm grateful for another day to live my best life. To live my best life. And then I breathe in, and I got my whole laundry list. I'm grateful for my wife. I'm grateful for my children. I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for the several successful businesses I own. I'm grateful for my home. I mean, from growing up on welfare and food stamps in a foster home, having my own home living here in Millbrae that I own, I'm pretty proud of. And I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful. And so, from that, I begin to understand that if happiness is my choice, it also leads and opens doors to other things. So the next thing that really, really taught me after gratitude was to live from a white belt mindset. I believe I'm always a student, never a master. Always. And even though I've been doing martial arts since 5 years old, and I hold the rank of an 8th degree black belt, when the day's done, I think that belt just holds up my pants. Sure, right? Here, black belt, fight for me. Here, black belt, be a better person. It just holds up my pants. But with that said, what it teaches me that I love to learn. I'm a learner. And as long as I'm learning, I'm happy. Because I really believe somebody who's learning is much happier than someone who thinks they know everything. People who think they know everything are stagnant, like water. If water is stagnant, what good is it? You can't drink it, you can't irrigate it, actually it's poison. So what I love about being a learner is I'm always fluid, like water. Water that flows. And if I'm fluid, then that water can nourish, I can drink it, I can do so many things with it. So I believe, if I'm learning, I am growing. And if I'm growing, I am living. And if I'm living, I'm a happy camper. I am. So with that, beyond the white belt mindset, the next thing that I learned is that happiness challenges me to live in the present moment. It's called the present because it's truly a gift. And if I do anything less than that, pardon the metaphor, I have 1 foot in yesterday, I have 1 foot tomorrow, and I'm peeing all over today. Can you see that visual? Hey, I'm going to tell you this, for the ladies, this is the truth. I didn't know you were supposed to pee standing up until I was 5 years old. Because I grew up with 3 sisters, so I was peeing sitting down. And one day, I went to kindergarten. Seriously, I went to kindergarten, and I walked into the boys' bathroom, and I went, oh, this is a weird thing. As I went to wash my hands in it, I look at the kid next to me, and I go, hey, what's going on? So the present is really important to me, because yesterday's but a memory, and tomorrow doesn't exist. But if I can be right here, right now with you, I can embrace this moment for what it is. I can appreciate every bit of it. Every bit of it. And every study has proven, if I'm living in the past, I'm depressed. If I'm projecting in the future, I'm anxious. So I really want to be right here, right now with you. Because that allows me to serve you best. And that's what makes me happy. So next, I found that happiness really helped me to understand my purpose in life. My purpose in life is to serve people. I speak in the jails. I speak at women's recovery places, to help them integrate back into the workforce. I've worked with a number of kids all the time with different special needs, autism, ADD, ADHD, teaching them martial arts. I'm an advocate in the Martial Arts Institute for real change. And a lot of what I do, I don't get paid for. You can ask my wife, when she catches me at 2 a.m. talking to a martial arts school owner in England, trying to help him run his school better, and I'm not making a cent. I love to serve. Service to me is my highest calling. Look at the people that serve. Who do we know of great service? Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela. Now, I'm nowhere in that audience, but just to even walk a little bit in their shadow, I'm a pretty grateful guy. So service to me is really, really important. You know what tell me the most about service? My grandma. My grandma owned restaurants in the Tenderloin. Anybody know what the Tenderloin is? Yeah, pretty scary part of town, right? So my grandmother owned restaurants, and I was a small child helping her working in there and wash the tables, and she'd feed everybody, even the people who couldn't pay her. And I was really cool. This guy, his name was Mud, but his real name was Bill, but everybody called him Mud. He'd come in every day, sit at the edge of the counter, and she'd give my hamburger with french fries, no cheese, hamburger with french fries. And I said to her one day, Grandma, how come he never gives us any money? She charged that guy. And you know what her answer was? Never mind. And what she really was saying, whether they can pay you or not, you should serve people at the highest level. That is all of our call. And I truly, truly believe that with a passion. But I think the greatest thing that choosing to be happy and making it my purpose has taught me, to live from a constant state of love. Now we know love is not a Hallmark reading card. Love is painful. And I'm going to share this story with you. When my eldest sister, Lisa, who I grew up with in the foster home, who was my mom, who was my sister, who was my best friend, who was my confidant, passed away suddenly 15 years ago. And I had to do the eulogy in the church. And I remember standing up there in front of all these people, 400 people in this church, and I looked at them and I said, this is the saddest day of my life, and this is the happiest. And everybody kind of looked at each other like, well, that's okay, he's mourning, he might be a little off today, you know? But what I was really saying is that I wouldn't be so sad unless I was allowed to love so deeply. And that's what makes happiness and love a beautiful thing. There's no hard without soft. There's no black without white. And do not think there's going to be happiness without sadness. But you know what ties that together? The yin and yang of happiness and sadness? Love. Love, that unconditional love that allows me to find that happy ending at the end of the movie, that helps me find that silver lining, on the darkest of clouds. That's what helps me on a daily basis. So with all that said, what am I truly trying to say to you? Find out what makes you happy. Make it your life's mission. Make it your life's purpose to be happy. And if you don't know what that is, figure it out. But remember, happiness starts where? I've got to be okay with me. Second, I need to be grateful. Is your cup half full or is your cup half empty? Well, I believe neither. I believe I have a pitcher and I can fill up that cup again and again and again and again. Because anything above poverty, I'm a happy guy. So it's easy for me to be grateful. Being present right here, right now. Am I talking to you? Am I talking to you? Am I with you right now? That's the greatest gift we can offer each other. Is to be fully present in every moment we're offered with one another. Always be a learner. I'm not afraid of what I don't know. I'm afraid of what I do know. You know why? It narrows my vision like this, and then I think I know everything, and I'm really, really a dangerous place to be. So always be a learner. Open your mind to that learning. Service. Serve. Every chance you get. Serve. Just for the heck of it. Without expecting anything in return, just serve people at the highest level. And above all, live from love. Love to me is the most powerful of life skills, of emotions we could possibly be offered. And through foster homes, through abuse, through poverty, through welfare, through my entire life, the one thing that has always kept me happy is love. So I'm going to leave you with an exercise. I want you to turn and look to the person to the right. You got someone sitting to the right of you? Look to them. Look at the person to the right. Okay, somebody looking at somebody? All right. Now I want you to smile at them. Go. Smile. Oh, see? You see how easy that was? That is the most simple. Okay, but that's the most simple expression of the power of happiness that happiness has to offer. Because as the old song goes, when you smile, the world smiles. Yes, the world smiles back. So for me, in leaving it, it's so easy for me to be happy on purpose when I make it my purpose to be happy. Thank you.